Hi, I'm Jordia Benjamin, Merkin Senior Coordinator of Programs and Audience Engagement at the Colby College Museum of Art in Waterville, Maine. And this is Artful Movements. Artful Movements is a part of the museum's wellness initiative under the larger program, Let Art Inspire. In this program, we select a work of art from our collection and we pair it with a yoga pose. Now, before we dive into the yoga portion of this program, let's first visit the artwork that has inspired this month's theme, Time to Ground Yourself. Today, we look at the work of Theresa Secord, Penobscot Barrel, 2019.
My name is Theresa Secord, and I'm a traditional Penobscot basket maker living in Farmington. I was born in 1958 in Portland, Maine, and have been weaving ash and sweetgrass baskets for about 32 years, having learned from the late Madeline Tomerche on Indian Island when I was working as a staff geologist for my tribe in the 1980s. At that time, the Penobscot and Passamaquoddy tribes had just won the largest land claim in United States history. I was hired to conduct a geologic assessment of the reacquired trust lands, a job which lasted for about 15 years. While I was living and working on the reservation, I soon became a student of our once flourishing and then nearly lost ancestral art of basketry, and I worked with my mentor for 5 years. During this time, I also helped form the Maine Indian Basket Makers Alliance with elders from the Maliseet, Micmac, Passamaquoddy, and Penobscot tribes to help save our endangered art form. I worked as the director for 21 years, when we managed to lower the average age of basket makers and increase numbers in all 4 tribes. More recently, and due to the pandemic, I have myself returned to my weaving and especially my teaching, and I'm now mentoring my 28-year-old son, Caleb Hoffman, who's on staff at Colby College as an assistant swim coach for the Colby Aqua Mules. I'm honored to share these thoughts for the Artful Movements series about the Penobscot Barrel that I donated to the Colby Art Museum in 2019 at the end of the groundbreaking Weewanigan exhibition. This piece, woven of ash, sweetgrass, and cedar, is dedicated to my great-grandmother, Philomene Salas Nelson, and it's a scaled-down replica of one of her baskets. To me, the piece represents the theme, Time to Ground Yourself well, in that she was grounded in her own indigenous cultural values and exercised her sovereignty as an independent entrepreneur, weaving and selling her baskets, especially during a time when rural women were largely relegated to the house and the work within. This is how I see myself too, grounded in my cultural values and work. As a longtime yogi, I think the upward salute pose of Urdhva Hastasana is perfect for this piece, and I salute my great-grandmother and her fortitude and resilience, from where I draw my own strength and sense of groundedness. Thank you.
The yoga pose. Upward salute. The benefits of this yoga pose are stretches the belly, shoulders, and armpits. It also improves digestion and helps relieve mild anxiety. There are also claims that this yoga pose has therapeutic applications in assisting with fatigue, asthma, indigestion, and backache. Beginner's tip. To help straighten your raised arm, secure them with shoulder-width loop around your upper arms, just above the elbows. Participants with shoulder or neck injuries should use caution and avoid the raised arms in this pose. Now, let's visit our partners at School Street Yoga, who will lead us in our yoga practice.
So welcome to Artful Movements. Thank you to Colby Art Museum, and I'm Kathleen Haberstock, and I run School Street Yoga in Waterville. And today we're going to be, you've looked at that beautiful woven basket And now we're going to be doing some yoga. So much like the basket that you were looking at, a vessel that's empty, our bodies are like vessels, and often they're very full of unnecessary things. Our mind is often full of unnecessary thoughts and habits and things that get in our way of the real person, of the real you. And yoga is really designed to clear that away. So to clear away the habits, to clear away the jumbled thoughts in your mind, and to allow you then to, in a place of stillness, to be more of who you truly are. And first we're going to actually start with a mudra. It's a gesture, a hand gesture, or a gesture in the body, and Bu mudra. So taking the two peace fingers and hugging in the other fingers. And we're going to place those peace fingers down to the earth. Bu means earth. And so this is a very grounding mudra. So just allowing your eyes to close, feeling the crown of the head rising up towards the sky, feeling the fingertips pressing into the earth. Close the eyes or gaze to the floor. Begin to get in touch with the breath, noticing your inhale, noticing your exhale. And just allowing yourself to get centered. Anywhere you've been, anything you've been doing earlier in the day, can you just let that go and be in this present moment? Feeling the spine elongating upward, noticing the belly moving out on the inhale and moving in on the exhale. Any parts of the legs that are pressing into the earth, just feeling yourself grounded into the earth. And then noticing the air around you and how the air feels against your skin. The quality of the air. Is it warm? Is it cool? Just noticing. And then feeling the crown of the head reaching upward any amount. And imagine the sky above you. So even as you're grounding into the earth, feel the crown of head rising upward. And imagine the sky above you. We have to ground down in yoga in order to rise up. All of our poses start with the grounding. Two more big breaths there. And then slowly just allow the eyes to open enough to see what I'm doing. We're going to now raise the arms up, let the mudra go, and on an inhale, a big inhale, reach the arms up and raise the chin, and fingertips might touch at the top, and then exhale, lower the hands down, and chin can lower, and fingertips graze the earth. And you'll continue like that with your own breath. So it could be faster or slower. You don't have to follow my speed, just follow your breath. Top of the inhale, hands are up. Bottom of the exhale, fingertips graze the floor. Couple more like that in your own time. You continue that. I'm going to read to you as you continue that movement, continuing the arms reaching upward, and on the exhale, fingertips graze down. Rolf Gates says, We are not trying to fix something that is broken. Rather, we are seeking to feel into something that is sacred. The first step in ending the violence that we do to our bodies is to move away from the belief that something is wrong with them. How would we even know if there were? It's not like we spend that much time listening to them. The bulk of our time is spent telling our bodies how they are supposed to perform and look. The shift we are trying to achieve on our mats and on our cushions is unprecedented. It is a leap of faith out of a fear-based belief system where the body is a means to an end, into a system of belief and behavior based on love and trust. So next time the arms are overhead, keep them overhead, big inhale. And then we're going to exhale, lower the right hand down and reach the left arm over the ear and just have a nice side bend here. And then inhale up to center and exhale to the other side, reaching through the fingertips, ground into that right sits bone as you reach the arm over the ear. Inhale up to center, one more time each side. Inhaling back up to center. Exhaling to the side. We're going to inhale up to center now and twist. So twisting to the right, left hand on the right leg, looking over the shoulder, breathing here. And then inhale up to center, and then exhale to the other side. Breathing here, looking over the back shoulder. Inhale up to center one more time. Exhale to twist. And then we're going to reach that back arm over our ear. So reaching it across. So one way in yoga that we clear things out in order to make room is by purifying the body. And twists are very purifying. They wring the toxins out. So now we're going to bring that right hand to the left leg and come to center. Inhale, lift up a little, and exhale, fold. Inhale to lift, exhale to fold. One more like that. And exhale to fold. Stay folded over the leg for a moment, breathing here. And then come up with the arms crossed. Give yourself a big hug, you deserve it. And then we're gonna either bring backs of the hands or palms together, or you can keep holding on to the shoulders, so whatever feels best to you. From here, we're gonna inhale, lift elbows or forearms up, and exhale, hug them in. Inhale to lift, exhale to hug. One more like that. Rising back up in your own time, let the arms go and just notice what you've done. Notice the shoulders. You might roll the shoulders one and then the other. And then go ahead and lift both arms up. And we're twisting to the left. Reach that left arm over the ear and over that opposite knee. And then lower that hand down. Now we'll inhale, rise up a little, and exhale, fold. Inhale to lift, exhale, fold. One more like that. Keep the cross of the arms as you rise up. And then give yourself a big hug. And then backs of the hands or palms can touch. Or you can keep the hug going on. We all need more hugs these days. From here, either elbows or forearms rise on the inhale, and exhale, hug it in. Inhale to lift. Exhale, release. One more like that. Coming up to center in your own time, let the arms go and just notice what you've done again. And you might find that moving the shoulders one and the other is helpful, perhaps. Now we're going to find our way to a standing position, to Tadasana, mountain pose. So finding Tadasana, mountain pose. So allow your feet to be parallel, about a little closer than hips width distance, about 2 fist distance apart. And then feel the spine elongate. And imagine the crown of head pressing against the ceiling so that you're really reaching up through the crown of the head. For a moment, lift all 10 toes and spread them, and then release the toes. But I find when I lift the toes, my knees activate, and even a little bit through the core, through the lower belly, gets active. So keep the activation of the legs and the core, and let the toes go. Now as you continue breathing here, and you're welcome to close your eyes, and you might notice even more that there's a little sway to your stance, right? It's firm, it's solid, but yet there's a little movement to it as well. So perhaps you want to gaze to the floor, but if your eyes are closed, either way, just begin to get in touch with your breath, noticing the inhale, noticing the exhale. And I'm going to read to you a little quote. The Buddha said, "My actions are my only true possessions. I cannot escape the consequences of my actions. My actions are the ground on which I stand." My actions are the ground on which I stand. So continuing to breathe, continuing to feel the firmness, the rootedness of the feet, and you might begin to rock a little, forward and back on the feet, and then maybe a little side to side on the feet. And then finding, through doing this, you might rock forward again, you might rock side to side. Find what feels like center to you. Feel a zipping up at the core, right up through the crown of the head. And now we're going to raise our arms, Urdhva Hastasana. Reaching the arms up, elongating through the spine, reaching through the fingertips. Feeling the groundedness of the feet even as you lift. A little bit of an arch to the spine. 2 more breaths here. Can you straighten the elbows? Can you reach through the fingertips? And then exhale, releasing the arms back down. So I'm going to give you 2 options if you're having trouble straightening the arms or you just want to feel even more lengthening. So one option is the strap. And you can put the strap, the yoga strap has like a belt, but you could use any tie around your arms. And as you reach the arms forward, press them into the strap. So you're going to find the right distance for you. And then you can reach the arms overhead. So as you reach the arms overhead, breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. And feel the grounding down of the feet and reach even more through the arms, through the fingertips. Press into the strap. Can you reach even more through the fingertips? Can you ground more into the feet? 2 more big breaths there. Much like the basket that you were looking at, the woven item you were looking at, the beautiful artistic piece, you're opening up any amount to receive here. Reaching up. 1 more big inhale here. And then exhale, lower the arms back down. So that's one option. Another option is the block. But the yoga block is a little smaller. So if it's gonna feel too small for your shoulders, you're gonna wanna use the strap instead. But you can play with, and a book would work as well. Pressing into the block. Reaching out through the arms. And then on an inhale, lift. And breathe here. And again, pressing the block, reaching up a few breaths. One more big inhale. Exhale, lower the arms. It's amazing how just adding something like a block can make the pose more challenging. And now we'll come back into it, having tried both of those options. Pressing feet into the mat, reach the arms up overhead on an inhale. Imagine you're still hugging the block. Reach up through the fingertips. Now we're going to bend the knees and sit the hips back and breathe here. You might open the arms a little bit. Chair pose. And then let's bring hands to the knees. And we'll inhale and arch the spine and exhale and round. Inhale and arch the spine and exhale and round. One more like that. Finding again that flat back. The tailbone tucks a little. Hug the lower belly in. Lift the arms. Chair pose. Big breaths here. And then big inhale, reach it up, little back bend. Exhale, dive over the legs. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Stay folded for a moment. You can grab opposite elbows. A few breaths there. You might sway the spine or shake the head. Knees can be bent here. And then let the arms go. Inhale, hands to shins or thighs, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach to the sky. Look to the sky, little back bend. Exhale, palms to heart center. Now be sure you're at the front of your mat. Go ahead and step to the front of the mat if you're not there already. And once again, we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, little back bend. Exhale, dive over the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the right foot back long. Pause there for a moment. Reaching through the heel. Now we're going to take that left thumb into the left hip crease and draw it back as you roll the left shoulder open and then lift the left arm. Go ahead and frame the front foot with your hands. And then we're going to get light on our fingertips. So just become a little light on the fingers and reach the arms back and reach crown of head forward. And now straighten through the spine as you come up. We'll just straighten that front leg for a moment and then bend that front knee. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend the knee. One more like that. And then reach the arms up. Tee out the arms. We're going to twist towards the bent knee. And then let the right hand come to the floor. Left arm reaches up to the sky. And frame the front foot with your hands. Drop the back knee and straighten through the front leg. So this is where blocks might come in handy. You can straighten through that front leg and maybe have hands on blocks. For a few breaths in runner's stretch, have a flat back. Drawing as if you could draw that heel back. And then inhale, flat back, exhale, round. Inhale, flat back, exhale, round. One more like that. Stay rounded for a moment. And then we're going to place that foot flat onto the floor and sink the hips forward any amount. Press the hands up to the knee. Let's clasp opposite thumbs and then reach the arms up. One more big inhale there. Exhale, frame the front foot with your hands. Now we're going to step it back to down dog. Couple of breaths there, pressing hands into the mat any amount. We can bend the knees. We can walk the dog out by reaching one heel down and then the other. Inhale forward to plank pose, and we can drop the knees and then chest and chin to the mat. Scrub forward, inhale cobra. And then exhale back to down dog. Big toes to touch. Lift that right leg, bend the knee. Right foot will step forward between the hands. And then left hand stays on the mat, right thumb into the right hip crease, draw it back, roll the top shoulder open, lift the arm. Reach through the back heel. Lowering that hand down, get light on your fingertips, and then reach the arms back, reach the crown of head forward. Hands come to the hips, rise up. We'll inhale, straighten the front leg, and exhale, bend the front knee. Inhale to straighten, exhale to bend. One more like that. Now reach the arms up. Tee out the arms, twist towards the right knee. And then left hand comes to the mat, right arm reaches up, big inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot with your hands, drop the back knee. Now, blocks might be helpful here. We're going to straighten through that front leg, runner stretch. Inhale, flat back, and we'll stay in flat back for a few breaths. Imagine you could draw that right heel back so that the leg moves into the hip socket. Now inhale, flat back, exhale, round. Inhale, flat back, exhale, round. One more like that. Inhale, flat back, exhale, round. And then go ahead and bring that foot flat to the floor and sink the hips forward any amount. Patting under the back knee if it's helpful. And press yourself up to the front thigh. We'll clasp opposite thumbs. Choose the different crossing of the thumbs than you did last time. And then reach the arms up. Heart lifts, crescent moon pose. Sinking hips forward, zipping up the core to lift through the heart. One more inhale here. Exhale, lower the hands back down. This time we'll tuck the back toes and step it forward and hang over your legs. And this time we'll bend the knees and roll it up. Stack one vertebra on top of the next in ragdoll. Head is the last to arrive. No rush to get there. But once you arrive, be in your Tadasana. Be in your mountain pose. Now for this next pose, big toes could touch. Otherwise, feet can be hips width distance, either way. We'll reach the arms up, and then we're gonna grab that right wrist with the left hand. Right palm goes up towards the ceiling. Inhale here, exhale, side bend. Breathe into that right side body. You can let your head fall to your left arm. Inhale up to center. Grab that left wrist, palm towards the ceiling, up and over. Breathe into the left side body. Inhale up to center, reach it up, big inhale, back bend, exhale, reaching the arms back down, find your Tadasana, mountain pose. Nicely done. Now we're gonna find a wider stance with the feet. So feet are wide, big toes are coming in a little bit, heels out. Let's clasp the hand behind the back and lower the knuckles as we reach the heart up. Big inhale and then exhale to fold forward and knuckles lift. And a few breaths there. Hugging outer legs in. And then let your arms go. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. One more like that. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands to your hips, find a flat back, and then rise all the way up. Elbows reach back, big inhale, back bend. Exhale, come to center. So if you haven't already, you might move the mat so that it's facing the longer way, so you're facing the longer edge of it. And then we're going to turn those left toes 90 degrees. The right toes will turn in slightly, and then we'll bend that front knee. But any amount, heart, chest is reaching forward, even as the legs are reaching in a different direction. So you can start with that front hand to the front leg, back hand to the back hip, and find some space there. And then reach the arms straight out. And then look over the front middle finger. Reach as much through back fingers as front fingers. Couple of breaths here. Make sure that you can see your big toe, your left big toe. If you can't see it, move the knee a little more towards the pinky toe. That will just protect your knee. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Tip that front palm up. Back hand to the back hip like a horseshoe. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, tip it back. Peaceful warrior. And then straighten the front leg. We'll tip it forward, reaching forward into triangle pose, but reach it forward first, and then lower the hand. Now you can bring the hand to a block, or you can bring the hand to the floor. Roll the top shoulder open, or to the leg. The hand can be anywhere along the leg. And then lift the arm. You want to make sure that your shoulders, your top shoulder is stacked on top of your bottom shoulder. So if in order to lower down, you're rolling forward, come up a little. Find your way up the leg, and that will open the pose. So finding what works for you. Couple of breaths there. My back foot keeps slipping in the pose. You may be finding if your mat is slippery that the back foot is slipping. A couple of breaths there. And then just lower that hand back down. And we'll find ourselves back on that front back foot in a low lunge. Then we'll walk our hands back to the center of the mat. One more time, inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Hands to the hips, find the flat back. Inhale, rise all the way up, a little back bend, and come to center. Turn those right toes 90 degrees. Left toes might turn in slightly, and then bend that front knee. Reaching the arms. Now, if you know you're going to use a block, and they're both at the front of your mat, just bring a block towards the outside of the right foot. And then finding all that space in the clavicle, in the shoulders. You can bring the back hand, the left hand to the back hip, the right hand to the right thigh. And then lift the arms and maybe look over that front middle finger. Reach as much through back fingers as front fingers. Can you see your big toe? You should see your right big toe. Warrior 2. Back hand to back hip, turn the front palm up. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, tip it back. Peaceful warrior. Straighten the front leg. And then we'll tip forward. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Reach it forward and then lower the hand to the outside of the ankle or the leg. Reach that top arm up. Make sure top shoulder stacked on top of bottom shoulder. Breathing here. Feeling the firmness of the feet rooting into the ground. This time, we'll inhale here and exhale, lower the arm down, and then walk once again the hands forward. Now, we're just going to bring the feet in slightly. So heel toe them in a little bit, and then we're going to find a goddess. So you're going to come up and find your goddess. And you may have to adjust it. You want your knees in line with your toes. And then we'll cactus the arms. We're going to inhale here and exhale to the right. And inhale to center and exhale to the left. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more time each side. Coming back to center, straighten the legs, reach the arms up, big inhale. This is lion's breath. We're all gonna do it. So big inhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, lion's breath. Inhale it up, lion's breath. One more like that. Lion's breath. Reach it up, palms to heart center. Step or jump the feet in. One more time, find Tadasana. Mountain pose. Feeling the firmness of the feet rooted down. One more time, reach the arms up. Lifting up, little back bend, big inhale. Exhale, folding forward. We're gonna find our way to a comfortable seat on the mat. So now just finding your comfortable seat again, and be sure that it's comfortable. So you might find that the cross-legged doesn't work for you, in which case you could sit in a chair. Or you could bring your legs forward if the cross-legged isn't working for you, if you have knee issues. But if it's okay on your body, you can cross your legs, and you could sit on a blanket or a pillow. And that will just help. It's better to have your hips a little higher than your knees. It will be more comfortable. And then once again, grounding down. So feeling sits bones grounding, feeling any part of the leg grounding down. We'll take Bu Mudra again. So again, the peace fingers, tuck the other fingers in, and then bring those peace fingers to the earth. And just feeling the fingertips pressing into the earth, feeling the crown of the head reaching up. Getting in touch with the breath. So eyes can be slightly open, gazing to the floor, or you can close your eyes. But if your eyes are open, soften them. Allow yourself to just have a very soft gaze. And noticing the inhale and noticing the exhale. Feel crown of the head once again rising up. Feel the length of the spine. Perhaps the spine feels longer than it did when we were first sitting at the beginning of class. And perhaps it's a little easier to slip into calmness. It might not be. Your mind might be jumping around, and that's fine too. But you might notice a difference from when we were first sitting at the beginning of class. And this is really the power of yoga that allows us to sit more peacefully once we clear out some of the unnecessary. The mind will still be working. That's what the mind does. You may find yourself off on a thought before you even realize it, and then notice, oh my gosh, I'm thinking, right? So if and when that happens, and it will happen, just draw your focus gently back to the breath. Noticing the inhale, noticing the exhale. And it can be very grounding as well to just notice your body. Notice the legs pressing into the earth. Notice the sides of your feet pressing into the ground. Fingertips pressing into the ground. And then just notice the breath. The breath is the first thing that we do when we're born. Right? The first thing we do is breathe, and it's the last thing we'll do on this earth. And there's all those countless breaths in between. So many of the breaths we don't notice, but can you notice your inhale now? Notice your exhale. And then just draw your focus to your heart center. Anahata chakra, right at the center of the chest. If you're a visual person, the color of the chakra is green. So imagine a green light shining out. Not just in front, but to the sides and to the back, in all directions. When the Buddha became enlightened, he touched the earth. He was sitting underneath a tree, and there were many things coming at him, whether it was in his mind or actually happening, but there were temptations and desires happening before his eyes, and he reached down and he touched the earth, and they disappeared. So just feeling the earth beneath you. And then he said to shine our lights. To shine our lights. To shining your inner light from your heart. Brightening up the world with your light. As you notice your mind wandering, just draw it back to the breath. Gently draw it back to the breath. No need to beat yourself up. We all think, we all have monkey minds, as they call it, where your mind is jumping around. But then just gently draw your focus back to the breath. This breath, in this moment. In your own time, on your next exhale, just letting that go. Releasing Bhu Mudra. Bringing your hands to your knees. Let's just take one back bend, inhaling, arch the spine. Exhaling, round through the spine. And then coming up to center. And we're going to find our way down to Shavasana. So lying down on the mat. You might find that lying on your back doesn't feel comfortable, then you can always lie on your side or on your belly, but find a position that feels comfortable to you. I'll remain seated, and if you prefer to remain seated, you're welcome to. Arms can be out to the side, or they can rest on your belly. And just let everything go. actually for a moment tense everything up. So make fists with your hands. Lift your legs a half an inch off the ground. Lift your arms half an inch. Prune up your face. Big inhale. And then exhale out the mouth and let it all go. Nothing left to do now. Final resting pose. Even the breath, let the thoughts about the breath go. Nothing left to do. Slowly begin to bring the focus back into the room. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes. You might reach your arms overhead and give the body a full body stretch. If you are sitting up instead of lying down, you could twist side to side. In your own time, if you're lying down, bend the knees. Allow the knees to drop to one side. Just pause there for a moment. And then join us in a comfortable seated position. Just placing palm against palm, the center of your chest, to honor your practice today. Honor this time that you carved out of your schedule to do this. Honor the self-care. Bow your head to your heart. Say a silent thank you. And know that this practice, you're taking it out into the world. You're taking it out to your loved ones. Big inhale through the nose. Let it go out the mouth. Namaste. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I hope you have enjoyed today's program. And if you would like to spend more time with this artwork, I encourage you to participate in 2 upcoming programs, Artful Meditation and Artful Healing. Be sure to like and follow us on all of our social media accounts at Colby Museum and visit us at our website colby.edu/museum to stay updated on all of our upcoming digital museum at home programs. And like always, from our museum home to yours, take care and I'll see you next month.